Okay, we've got our track selected, and now it's time to connect to our Apex Pro device. This is an important part of the process, and remember to try this before you go to the racetrack. You can do this sitting at your desk, or even better, go sit in your car in the garage or in your shop and follow this process. Remember to have your Apex Pro device mounted in your car according to our mounting guidelines and best practices that we've already covered in this course. Make sure to have the back of the device facing the direction of travel and not to have the unit turned towards the driver. All right, it's time to connect to the Apex Pro unit. Let's tap Drive from the home screen and then the big Connect icon, which is the Bluetooth icon that you see. It's a red Bluetooth icon. That's going to pull up this box that's going to allow us to connect to our Apex Pro. You'll see an Apex Pro icon appear at the top, and you can tap that. When you connect to the Apex Pro device, you'll notice that the Bluetooth icon turns from red to white, and the Calibrate icon turns white as well. You'll also notice the one blinking blue light on the Apex Pro device itself. All right, it's time to calibrate. So we're sitting in our car, we have our device mounted in the correct way, and we're going to tap the Calibrate button, which is going to zero the accelerometer in the Apex Pro device. The 9-axis accelerometer that lives in the Apex Pro is the secret sauce to everything that happens in the Apex device and logging data on the track. So make sure that calibration process is done. That's very important. If you have any issues connecting to your Apex Pro with Bluetooth, always check that your phone's Bluetooth is turned on. And also make sure that you've given the Apex Pro app permission to use Bluetooth. When you first open the app, there'll be a pop-up that appears that requests your permission for this app to use Bluetooth. You can always check this by tapping Settings, scrolling down until you see the Apex Pro app icon, tapping that, and then enabling Bluetooth for the Apex Pro app. Now you're connected to your Apex Pro, it's mounted properly, and it's calibrated. Now it's time to open Lap Timer and start logging data.